Okay, verse 12. He goes on, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Christians are basically free to do anything not sinful. Is it okay for me to eat ice cream? Yeah, it's okay. It's not sinful to eat ice cream. Now might be sinful to eat 3 gallons at a time or something like that, but it's not basically sinful to eat ice cream. But on the other hand, the Corinthians had misapplied their freedom. They were free to do anything they wanted to do that was not unlawful. But Paul said even some things which were lawful should not be done because they wouldn't profit other people. You know, I use the ice cream example. That's probably not the best one, but me chowing down on just grabbing a whole carton of ice cream and eating on it might not be good for that fellow over there that's trying to lose weight to get out of his heart trouble and get away from all the troubles he's having with his knees because he's too heavy for his knees. It's not really good for me to ignore his needs and just go ahead and say, well, I've got the right to eat if I want to, that kind of thing. Okay, verse. So, by the way, I had down here in your notes, you may see that Lipscomb said there is a lawful use of appetites, desires, and lust. That lust that he's using there is desire. But none of them must obtain the mastery over us. And I will go a step further and say, nor should they, through me, obtain mastery over somebody else. Verses 13 and 14. Foods for the stomach, and the stomach for foods, but God will destroy both it and them. Now, the body is not for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. And God both raised up the Lord and will also raise us up by his power. So apparently some compared man's appetite for food to his appetite for sex. And say, well, God gave me an appetite for food, but God also gave me an appetite for sex. So it's okay for me to do it because God gave me the desire. By the way, that argument's being used now in reference to homosexuality. They're blaming God. The reason I'm a homosexual is God made me that way. Well, let's see what Paul thinks about that. He says both food and stomach serve only a temporary purpose. Now, I don't know about you, but if I eat breakfast, by lunch, I'm still hungry. I'm hungry again. That's probably a better way to put it. And if I eat lunch, I'm hungry again at supper time. Well, so Paul is showing that food and the stomach are temporary in fulfilling a temporary purpose. The food of breakfast satisfies me for the morning, and I can work harder if I'm well fed, but I still need to come in at noon and grab a bite so that I can work as equally as hard in the afternoon. Fornication, serves to tear down the body, which is meant for the Lord's service. He's talking about that in these verses. The Lord dwells in and cares for the body. So the stomach serves a temporary purpose, but the body will be raised by God for an eternal heaven if properly used.